Picture this. You're sitting alone at a cafe, a park bench, or just a quiet corner of your room. You've got your meal, your headphones on, and something you actually care about playing on your screen. Honestly, it's bliss. No social theater, no agonizing small talk, no need to force a fake laugh at a joke that wasn't even funny. It's just you, your food, and your own space. Then, it happens. A passerby glances over, gives your table a quick look, and offers that expression, the slight tilt of the head, that flicker of pity that says, "Poor thing, no one to sit with?" Here's the wild, liberating truth. You aren't sad. You aren't lonely. You aren't waiting for someone to walk over and rescue you from your own company. You're actually having a great time. But a nagging question still ripples in the back of your mind. One you've probably never dared to whisper out loud. Why do I love this so much? Is there something wrong with me? Let's kill that shame right now. You aren't broken. You're just human in a way most people have forgotten how to be. 1. Aloneliness, not a defect, but a hunger. We live in a culture obsessed with the epidemic of loneliness. We're constantly warned about the dangers of being by ourselves. But psychologists have finally put a name to the opposite aloneliness. It's the specific aching fatigue you feel when you haven't had enough time to just be. Don't look at it as a quirk. Look at it as a biological requirement, just like hunger or sleep. In our hyper-connected, digital-first world, we're suffering from cognitive saturation. Every notification, every social demand, and every mask you have to wear in public is draining your battery. When you carve out solitude, you aren't running from people. You're activating a cognitive filter. You're clearing the junk data of the day to reclaim your own mind. If people try to fix your solitude, it's only because they're projecting their own fear of silence onto you. Let them wonder. 2. The neuroscience of solitude, your brain's secret workshop. Most folks assume that when you're alone, your brain goes into idle. It's actually the opposite. When you pull the plug on external noise, you activate the default mode network, DMN. Think of this not as a standby mode, but as your brain's private workshop. During these quiet pockets, your mind is doing some heavy lifting neural pruning. It's busy sweeping away the social anxieties that accumulated during the day and strengthening your prefrontal cortex, the part of you that handles complex decisions and true emotional control. You aren't doing nothing. You're consolidating memories, role-playing future challenges, and refining who you actually are. This isn't just downtime. It's your most essential work. Does this resonate? If you've spent your life feeling like the weird one for needing space, hit that like button. Drop a comment. Where do you feel most like yourself? And subscribe to Raw Human Psychology. We're building a corner here for those who prefer depth over noise. 3. Autonomy, the pulse of an independent mind. Why do some extroverts crave the quiet just as much as introverts? It comes down to your autonomy quotient. It's a core hunger to direct your own attention. People who cherish solitude aren't socially stunted, they're energy orchestrators. You realize your time and focus are finite. By leaning into choice-based solitude, you're protecting your own mental territory from the soul-crushing pressure to be a people pleaser. When you own your Tuesday night, you're not avoiding others. You're reclaiming the power to show up as your authentic self, rather than a polished version of what others want. 4. Solitude as a skill, building your psychological muscle. Psychologist Esther Buchholz always said that solitude isn't a state of being, it's a capacity you build. It's a muscle. If you don't use it, the silence can feel loud or even itchy. This is why you need to train your silence tolerance. When your room goes quiet and your hand instinctively twitches for your phone to numb the stillness, stop. Lean into it. By developing self-directed attention, you learn to sit with the thoughts you usually drown out. This internal validation is the ultimate insurance policy. It makes you unshakable because your center is inside you, not in the approval of the crowd. 5. High barrier engagement, the paradox of connection. Here's the biggest twist. The people who are best at being alone usually have the most profound relationships. Why? Because you never hold on to a connection out of desperation. You practice high barrier engagement. You don't let just anyone into your space to fill a void. You're selective. Because you aren't burned out from constant social noise, when you do engage, you do it with radical presence. You listen better, and you speak with an honesty that most people find refreshing. You're not needy. You're an intentional partner. Being chosen by someone who is genuinely okay without you? That is the ultimate compliment. It means they want you, not just a warm body to kill their boredom. If you're tired of the shallow loop of modern socializing and want to explore the real mechanics of human connection, subscribe to the channel. Stick around until the end to see the final piece of the puzzle. In short, loving the quiet isn't a personality glitch. It's a high-level feature of a modern, evolved human. Our ancestors feared being alone because it meant being vulnerable. But you're sitting in the 21st century, safe and sound, enjoying a level of personal freedom that no human in history has ever known? You aren't weird. You've just mastered the rarest art of all, being your own best company. You've reached the end of this deep dive, but your real work inward starts now. If this helped you stop apologizing for needing space, make sure to subscribe to Raw Human Psychology. Leave a comment, sharing a moment where you felt most alive while alone. I read them all. See you in the next one.